Today we'll be talking about creating your first contest when using the OLLE system, our online loan lead generation platform through Extend. So the first time you log into your OLLE account, the first things that you'll see on the screen are two boxes that tell you to start creating your campaign or designing your template. Before you can really start designing a whole lot, you'll want to definitely click on this Create Your Campaign option on the left. We're going to go ahead and click on that Start Now option. At the beginning of designing our campaign, we have to take care of a few housekeeping items first. Those being choosing a campaign title, which will automatically generate a URL, the date range that we'd like our campaign or contest to run, the time zone in which it will run, which we usually suggest that you use your credit union's operating time zone, the campaign type that you would like to select, which we'll get into here in just a moment, and some necessary images that you'll want to include on your contest page. To get started, we'll go ahead and name our contest right now. You can be as creative as you want to be or not. As you might have noticed, this contest name is already chosen, which means that we need to change up our campaign title temporarily in order to create this brand new URL. So in this case, I could go ahead and put a new URL in this box and keep my original campaign title in order to have that URL for my contest page. I will use the words contest and campaign interchangeably, but I'm still referring to creating your OLLE campaign or contest page here. It's all the same thing. So in order to choose a date range, I would definitely suggest starting to create your contest or campaign a good 2 days before you launch. That way you have time to, or at least 2 days. You could definitely create it sooner than that if you would like to allow more time before your first launch. But this way you have time to communicate with all of your staff what is going to happen at your credit union or what you're planning to do. And you have time to let other staff put a second pair of eyes, third pair, however many you need looking over your contest page before you launch. This way you can avoid maybe some spelling and grammar errors or any other mistakes on there. So for the purpose of today's training, I'm actually going to start our contest today, not too long from now. If you try to choose an end date that is further behind than the start date, OLLE will definitely let you know that you are being a little bit silly or making a mistake. It will stop you in your tracks and make you choose a new end date. I suggest that OLLE contests last anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, 2 being the minimum and 6 being the maximum. We've seen longer contests run before and they just weren't as successful. So that 6 weeks is really the max that you want to allow for your contestants, members, or potential members to enter to really light that fire of urgency. So I'm going to go ahead and have this contest end a month from now, as close to midnight as possible. When I've selected the dates and times that I would like my campaign to start and end, I will click Apply and see those reflected here in this campaign date range box. Next, I'm going to select Eastern Time because that is where I'm operating out of, and I have 4 types of campaigns that I can select. The first being sweepstakes, which allow you to ask those leading questions and gain those potential lead answers. You could also potentially use trivia, video contest, or image contest if you'd like to throw a little bit of change out there for your members and keep things nice and fun. For the purpose of today's contest creation, we are going to create a sweepstakes campaign type. As I'm working left, right, top to bottom over here, we get to choose from a few images for our contest page. I'm actually going to go ahead and pause my screen sharing as we talk about possible images. So your logo, that one's pretty straightforward. You'll want to use a PNG file type if you can, with the following size limits in mind. And we suggest that you use a PNG with transparency if at all possible, because if you do not, and there's kind of that white or gray or black box on the background of your logo, and then you go to put it into the contest page and choose a different background for your contest page, you will absolutely see that kind of boxy look around your logo, which we'll actually take a look at in another one of our videos today when we talk about designing your contest. Next, we can review some of the compliance images that are supplied through the OLLE site. You can choose from any one of these 3 and toggle with them to be displayed or not be displayed as you see fit. If you don't use NCUA, you don't like the logos or the compliance images that we have to choose from here, you can actually click this Choose File option and select a different image from your own shared drive. Down here at the bottom, we have the ability to choose a featured image. This is the one that's most likely going to be featured in your emails that you send out to your members or potential members about this upcoming contest that you'll be running. You'd use it to boost on Facebook or other social media sites. So this image is something that you'll really want to make sure fits within these guidelines and maybe has minimal text. I always suggest that the featured image contains at least a picture of the prize or hints at what the prize is to really capture the attention of potential contestants and encourage them to enter. I'm going to go ahead and click create before I go to any other tabs. In this case, this is almost like that save button on this particular page. You'll absolutely want to click this before you move on to make sure that all of your work here has saved. Now we've done the basic information and started the creation of our campaign. We're going to move on to the details and data tabs next. Underneath this details tab, you have the ability to describe what kind of a contest you're running and why you're running it for your members. For today, I'm just going to go ahead and type in a short blurb. This is where you can get as creative or as short as you want. I've seen a lot of our credit unions try to keep it clever, and I've seen a lot of our credit unions try to keep it simple. It's really in how you would like to talk to your membership or your potential members that are lying out there waiting to enter your contest. So I'm going to go ahead and type here, and then we'll continue to talk about instructions, prizes, and possible rules. Over here underneath the instructions section, it's actually pretty straightforward. You'll want to put down what your contestants need to do to enter the contest, and then maybe mention that you'll be choosing the winner on a specific date so that they're aware of if you contact them ahead of time, you might not be telling them that they're a winner. We used to put a small sideline discretionary text in this box that said something along the lines of, "We may contact you based on your answers. We will not be choosing a winner until the following date," just to try and get that message across to those contestants out there so that when they get a voicemail from your credit union to follow up on those leads, they're not going to automatically assume that they've won the contest within 2 days of entering. You do also have the capability to format your text here, use bullet points, change the way that the text shows up. It's totally and entirely up to your credit union what you would like to do and what you how you would like things to show here. You also can insert links or insert images here as well, whatever you see fit. I try to keep things as simple as possible in these contests, but again, that's entirely up to you, and it might be cool to put, you know, a picture of the real prize or anything that has to do with that prize down here if there's additional information about it. So I'm going to go ahead and just enter in some general instructions here. I do have a set of those detailed instructions that say when you would be choosing the winner and why you would be contacting the member otherwise if you would like to utilize those. For prizes, you'd obviously want to put down what you're giving away. We most commonly see prizes such as those valued at about $100, and we see things such as $100 cash, $100 Visa gift card, a $100 Amazon gift card, or even $100 to the winner, and then the charity of either their choice or your credit union's choice as well. We've seen some other very creative prizes that are out there. You have a few other options to choose from. It's really whatever your credit union can afford and would like to give away. So I've seen things such as amusement park tickets and some spending cash, a fire pit and 2 folding chairs, or donation to a charity to a school district. That was run by a school district, excuse me, because the credit union was owned by teachers in that school district. We do have a set of disclosure set for this section as well underneath these rules. This is where you'd want to put any of that compliancy or legal language by your credit union. With our set, we are happy to provide it if you sign on for the OLLE service. However, we do recommend that you run it by your compliance team. To save time today, I am going to type in just something very bland. This way you get to see what these individual text pieces actually look like in our next video when we talk about designing the campaign. Before we get to the design section, there's one more piece we need to cover for creating your campaign or your contest, and that is this data tab. It doesn't sound very exciting right off the bat if you're not super into data, but we do have the ability in this tab to enter in those question and answer sections, whether you're doing a sweepstakes or a trivia contest. When you first enter this data page, there isn't a ton of information on it right off the bat. We have the ability to ask the contestant who they are and how to contact them, and then whether or not they are a member of the credit union. We do have some pre-built templates if you're not sure where to start, but if you're doing a different topic that isn't found in this template section, absolutely let us know. We'd be happy to help you out with forming those questions and answers if you need, or we'd be happy to add more to our template section. For the purpose of today's video, I'm going to choose this top template, Consumer Loan Leads All. When I click select next to this, I get a warning from the site that says if I have made any changes to the campaign or contest page as it was in this question and answer section, it's going to erase all of my customized work and restart with this template. I always suggest starting with the template if you're new to OLLE or you're not sure what questions and answers you would like to utilize. And this just gives you a nice starting place instead of a completely blank canvas. Really, it's all in how you would like to get started with creating your contest. I'm going to click OK because obviously I have not done any work just yet, and now I have the ability to modify the template that was chosen for me, or that I chose, in that Consumer Loan Leads section. So I'm going to go ahead and just modify a few of these things to show you how user-friendly this platform is. You can easily add in extra answers or remove answers as you see fit. You can easily change the input type. Whether or not someone is a member is really a one-answer question. Some of these down here that ask about having outside loans or debt from other financial institutions would be a good chance to change this from radio group to a checkbox so that contestants have the opportunity to choose more than one answer as they see fit. Over here, you might notice some validation options. You can choose whichever one might work best, or if you want to require validation to any of these questions, I recommend that if you're going to be using anything in these call to action items down here. I'm going to select a few so we can take a look at what this looks like in a later video. We also have, I recommend that you use anywhere from 2 to 5 questions, 5 questions being the absolute maximum. Obviously, the more work that you create for your contestants, the less likely they are to do it in order to enter the contest. These call to action items are going to be reviewed on the back end on how to configure these in the settings tab video that we'll get to here in just a little bit. I'm going to leave the rest of these, but I'm going to make sure that first I click Save so that my work saves. Now I have created my first contest, and if I go back to my dashboard, I have the ability to view, maybe not any stats because I haven't actually launched it just yet, but I do have an actual dashboard out in front of me that allows me to view stats about either all of my campaigns aggregated or individual ones as I see fit. Also, now if I click on the Campaigns tab, I'm able to view any campaigns that I've already started to create. I can view my URLs and copy them from here, or I can edit my campaign as needed. And that is how you get started on creating your first campaign. Thanks for watching.